Okay, before launching the application, make sure you turn on your keyboard, because the code written in the application's init instance will make sure the caps lock status, and if the caps lock is turned off, it will turn it on. So let's say your caps lock status is off and your keyboard is not in your keyboard also indicates that caps lock is not turned on. So when you launch the application, the code that we wrote in the init instance will turn it on. So your application will show that caps lock is turned on in the status bar, and in the keyboard the light indicator will show that it is turned off. So this will be not in sync when you are running the application. So to avoid that confusion, I'm just asking turn on the caps lock. So I'm turning on the caps lock on here that you saw just now. Then I'm launching the application, so that since we are changing the caps lock status, it will be in sync with your keyboard. So I'm running the application. I'll just resize this window so that you can see the caps lock status in the status bar. Moving it to the lower right side so that you can see the OS status of the caps lock and application status. Before any hook install, I'm just turning off the caps lock in the hardware. You see the below button like style, you see the caps lock is off. This is reported by the OS, and our application also in sync. I'm turning it on now. So this time also you are seeing that it is in sync with the application. So I'm keeping the status of this caps lock as on. Now I'm launching the first dialog. Since this is a do model dialog, you won't see caps lock going off and on in the application status bar, but you can still see the operating system reporting it. So what I'm doing is first I am typing something. If you see, I typed some English letters, so that's appearing in the caps lock status. Now I am turning off the caps lock and I'm typing something. So you can see the application is supporting both uppercase as well as a lowercase. I'll just close this dialog and open the second one. Here also, if you see, I can type both uppercase and lowercase. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm just turning on the caps lock again and setting the hook. That's all. So the application is set with the hook. Now what happens whenever you presses the keyboard buttons, it can be any button, so that event, before it reaches to the application win hooks here, it get trapped by the WH keyboard hook and then delivered to the filter function. So before the event reaches this application, it is intercepted by the filter function, and inside the filter function we are just looking for the caps lock key, and if it is turned off, we are turning it on in the filter function itself. Now look at the application perspective. In application perspective, whatever you do with the caps lock, it always sees it as a caps lock is turned on, because the interceptor will doing that. So now I am launching the dialog. Since this is the hook that intercepts the event before it reaches to the application. So if you see in both the dialog, I can able to type only the capital letters. So at present caps lock is on, so I'm typing capital letters, so it's normal. I'm going to the second text box and I am going to turn off the caps lock. If you see, the caps lock is turned off. This is indicated by the OS. The OS is that caps lock is turned off, and the application takes that message from the message queue. Then it tries to send that to the Windows procedure. But before the message reaches the Windows procedure, it is intercepted, and the caps lock off status is captured by the filter function, and it turns that on. So after that, once the message reaches the main application, then it sees that the caps lock is on even though it is turned off. So if I type something, it will still appear in the capital letters. So this hook works for all the dialogues. Why? Because the hook is application wide hook. So I'm turning on the caps lock, typing something, turning off, typing something, turning on, turning off. So if you see, there is no effect of turning off the caps lock. So this is the use of Windows hook. I'm closing this demo. Okay. So if you see in the application, just for searching for the filter function, where did I wrote? Okay, here is the filter function, right? So in order to see how hook chain works, you can just copy paste this and create a new filter function. Okay, let's do that. I'm just copying this. I'm just adding a new filter function. These two are standard codes. Why? Because if code is less than 0, you no need to do anything, and should call the next filter function. And if you intercept something, that time also you need to make a call to the next filter function. So let's see, I'm adding some AFX message box here. This is just to explain the order of the hook chain. So I'm typing M1 here. So let's attach this keyboard. I will change this as a keyboard proc temp. We'll just copy that. So I'm going to the set keyboard hook routine. So here just providing a temporary address, I mean temporary keyboard procedure here. Then I'm having a keyboard hook on, go to definition, copy, put it as soon. That's all. I think we are done. So what I will do, I will just put a breakpoint for the keyboard work procedure, and then for this message box. Now if you see, when I set the hook and type some keyboard, something in the keyboard, the hook which is installed later, that means which is installed last, will be first in the chain. That means first this function, I mean the keyboard proc temp, get a chance to intercept the function and make any modification. Then the call here, I mean call next Windows hook ex file, this function, this will call next filter function. So we will see the second function get called on the time. So that's what I'm saying. So if you press a key, first this hook filter function will get called. Why? Because which is first in the chain, and then this will get called. You can go to the article and refer the first picture, which I keep the filter function as a ring-like notation. So the lastly added filter function, this is the lastly added filter function, which will come first in the chain. So this will process the message first, and keyboard proc, this will process the message once that message get processed through this function. Okay, I'll just build this application and I'll show it. Okay, the application is built. So I'm launching the application. I'm setting the hook. Okay, now I'll press some key. I'm pressing just yes button, and if you see, the first hook procedure called is keyboard HookProc temp. So I'm just running it. The message M1 is displayed. I'm clicking OK to this message, and if you see, the second breakpoint reached. That means the keyboard proc get called. So I'm just exiting the application and setting the hook and exiting it. So in the unset, I forgot to remove the second keyboard procedure, but in a real application you have to do it in a proper way.